So I'm gonna start here at the Q&A. So I'm gonna go ahead and click the I'm gonna click the question. Well, we can read it here. So, but if it's too long, I'll click it and read it. So, hello everyone. What is planned as far as new content and what is on the books for bows and crossbows? And the SDF says basically our goal for new content is to add more endgame goals. Sounds good. We also interested. So hold on. Actually, you know what? Let's stop there. So add more endgame goals, and this is something I'm concerned about actually. And I do want more endgame goals, and I do want more stuff to work for in the dungeon because I feel like we're not playing a dungeon crawler anymore. So the last endgame goal we got was Wyvern, and I think that boss is unanimously hated. And it's not an endgame goal. You don't tackle it with your team. You take a bard in there with a rondel dagger and you stab it, right? It's not really an endgame goal, so I'm kind of concerned about that. I am. Anyways, moving on. We're also interested in making the existing game loop healthier in a number of ways. We're interested in adding a variety of endgame goals. Okay, well, you just said that. Wyvern plus Banshee duo bosses. What is this? What is this, Ninja Gaiden, where like after you beat all the bosses, you have to fight multiple bosses at the same time? You have to fight like 3 bosses at once in the challenge modes. For example, Arena was designed as an endgame goal for PvP players. Ugh. We'll be launching Arena ranking this season. That's not to say that's the end of PvP endgame goals. We have a lot of ideas. Once Arena is established, we'll think about what's next. I don't like as a player that likes PvP as well as PvE, I really don't feel like my endgame goal should be to go to Arena. I don't like Arena that much, to be honest. I just don't like it. We're launching Arena ranking this season. Not to say it's the end of PvP endgame goals. Yeah, we'll think about what's next. Okay. As for players like completionists, we're going to add an achievement system next season that you can collect and achieve things beyond the season. So we'll get achievements. That's cool. I like achievements. As long as they're cool, man, and not like pick up 5 bangles, you know what I'm saying? We're looking to add, here, let me get this up a little bit higher so you guys can see it. We're looking to add 2 big systems to improve the existing game loop. This is specifically tied to addressing the shortcomings of the 3-layer system. We're working on a continuous entry system similar to the floor matchmaking system that we talked about earlier. This is about creating an environment where the player is constantly engaged inside the dungeon. This will allow the player to escape immediately or immediately progress to deeper dungeons. We'll share more details in the future when we have a more finalized look. Continuous entry system sounds actually like people will be able to enter the dungeon after you've entered it, which might be ridiculous. Are you sure? I don't like so many people treating runes as arena, just mass murdering people. There's not much else to do though, unless you want to fight the bosses. The loot's not good enough to loot. So they want to make it so you can escape immediately or immediately go down to deeper dungeons, which is fine. I think it's fine. But if you're in like Inferno and you're fighting the boss and new teams keep showing up to third party you, that'd be really annoying. We're also working on a random dungeon system of shuffle dungeon modules we've been modularizing for a while now. We hope this will improve the current game loop, which is too repetitive. I said earlier that I wasn't too interested in this, but as usual, I've been playing the game for a long time and come to some similar conclusions as you. We believe that there should be more variety inside the dungeons, and we'll start the system and expand it more and more. This is good. I think this is good, but the problem here that I see with this is to be honest, I think the module focused dungeons are kind of stale. I mean, it doesn't really feel like a dungeon delving experience when you're just going through the same rooms over and over, just in different orders, you know what I mean, if they randomize them. I mean, at the end of the day, basically it's going to frustrate a lot of players. Because you guys remember when we did they released that new version of Goblin Caves that had a bunch of like dead ends and it just sucked to navigate because like all the doors that like should be there like didn't exist anymore, and there was like entire rooms that had no exits. Like you had one way into the room and that was it. And this is weird, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the module system. I know it's like the only way that they can make the game like fresh for a longer period of time, but like having a unique dungeon design would also be really cool. All right. Why only premium accounts have something good like Arena or 125 plus? Why we can't have donate value with hard quests or something? Will druids have more skills and perks? Bro, this is like 2 questions in 1 or 3. He says, we're sorry, but we have to make a living too. So SDF says, you got to pay money if you want to play the full game. That's fine. I mean, you got to pay money, right? Like at the end of the game, this isn't like, I was going to say it's not like League or something where you can just, I don't know, play for free like that. It is what it is. I mean, if you want to pay for the game, it's fine. I already paid for the game. If they made it free, I mean, when they made it free, right? I really didn't care that much, but yeah, I mean, they do want to make money, right? Everybody wants to, you know, have food. I think boss fight mode should be a thing, even if it doesn't give rewards. It's a better way to learn Inferno bosses. Yeah, I guess. There's no battle pass, no pay to win. If you bitch about not being free, shut your ass up. Okay. So we're gonna click this one to read the full one. This is 4 questions. Why is there no personal lobby where you can view damage and dummies? Why are there no silver crafts for all weapons? Why can't druids why can druids still travel vast distances indefinitely? It's not fair. Why doesn't the search button in the marketplace add all the attributes in the search automatically and the player will remove the excess himself? Okay. So he answered 1 question. I would like to support that in the future. So he answered the personal lobby. I'd like to support that in the future with an improved gathering hall or housing system. Can you see this? Okay. So unfortunately, I don't feel it's a good idea to do redundant work now that will be removed in the future. Okay, so he wants the like gathering hall system. I think they always said they wanted it, so I already assumed it was coming eventually. But yeah, he don't want to do it now because he's gonna probably rework it later. I want to buy this game. $30 is more than my electrical and water bill. Holy shit, man, you got a cheap electrical bill. I think 30 well, I don't know what your income is like in your country, but like, yeah, most I think most people in the US have an electrical bill that's way above $30, especially in the winter. Is socketing system coming soon? Passive abilities from sockets would be good. Bring it up here. Socket system is currently in the works and will be released next season, and I want it to help solve the problem of random modifiers taking too long to get bis. I'd like to use this question as an opportunity to explain why I'm so focused on item balance. For the record, I should say that I was the one who was initially interested in bringing random modifiers to the game and keeping the gap between items large and widening it further. And that's what the alpha looked like as a result of that design. But now I've changed my mind. I'm focusing on the opposite direction. So he wanted a wide geared gap, but now he doesn't. I lost my spot. Where is it? Oh yeah. Random modifiers are a fun tool for players to create different builds for themselves, and for us, they're a great way to increase player playtime. However, random modifiers are like gambling, forcing players to invest a lot of time and making it harder for players with less playtime, the majority of players being mid-low level, to get best in slot items. Also has the problem of making BIS items very expensive because the time it takes to get a good item is so long, which is also a strong incentive for RMT and cheaters. Because of this, players at the mid and low levels of the player pyramid quickly realize that this is a game that they can't compete in properly without investing countless hours, and they leave. Of course, there are many reasons why people leave. This is a big one. Therefore, I would like to reduce the time it takes to get a good item to a more acceptable level so that players of different levels have a more level playing field. However, this does not mean that I want to reduce it to 0, which would undermine the inherent fun of the game. All right, full disclosure. So, patch 69, the one everyone hated, when like all the gear had the same stats, basically, no matter what quality it was. I actually really enjoyed the PvP in patch 69. Not on my fighter, but on other classes, because my fighter didn't have any armor. But I enjoyed the other classes PvP. I had fun because the gear gap was small. But the problem is I wasn't enjoying the patch because I was bored. The PvP was fun, but killing people was not rewarding. Looting was not rewarding. I didn't feel like looting players. I didn't feel like looting chests. Like half of the game disappeared. That's the problem. They have to somehow find a balance between the two. because I don't want to gear diff people, and I don't want to be gear diffed, but I also don't want to play Counter-Strike the medieval version. You know what I'm saying? Is what it is, you know? Whatever. Oh god. This is a long question, so he only answered one, and he answered this one right here. Add fishing to the game. Fishing is definitely in the plans. Unfortunately, it's a little low priority, but I have the plans to move it up a bit. All right. Next one. So people are asking so many multi-tier questions. All right, let's read this one. All the reasons why the ruins were sent for revision are still in the game. True, actually, 100% true. Ruins run, well, to be fair, they were worse back then, but the issues are still here. Ruins run for literally 2 minutes, and coming out of this endless spawn rush and third partying range meta. I think it's clear here 90% of the rooms are open space. You can run through any number of modules and leave behind you PvE. And some part of the modules do not even need to open the door. Lack of rotation of module options of ruins. You know how it sucks to play the whole wipe on one map variant. Building a map of 3 floors kills PvP in B2 and makes B3. We already know this. Like, he said he's gonna make it so you can go down instantly and you're gonna get match made with other players. So this is not an issue. People keep asking this question, and I don't know why, because he keeps repeating himself. I mean, he's been talking about the 3-layer system and being able to like eventually go down and get rematch made a million times now. Hope you have stats to see in all PvP. 95% of the time ends in ruins. Everyone's ready to the blue portal. So why have crypts? We're gonna move on. We already know the answer to this question. He's already answered it. Yeah, he said, we're aware of this issue and hope that continuous dungeon, the new feature described earlier, will address it. He didn't address the ruins issue though. Do you think we can get at least a glimpse of a work in progress Sorcerer this year? For sure. So he says Sorcerer is coming out this year. He's got a month and a half to get it out. I think it's coming out with the beginning of the next wipe, which will be in December sometime. My god. Will the game add the ability to enchant weapons or equipment, like increase damage against armor, weapons can poison, or impose a bleeding effect? For example, make a room that opens with a key, and in this room you can enchant weapons or equipment. I'm a big fan of these features myself. However, I do have a concern that with the current structure of items being easily lost, too much investment in items can lead to a sense of loss and stress for players. However, I'm hopeful the socket system will play a role in this. It would be cool to customize our items more. I suggest the introduction of an additional arena stash to facilitate better organization of arena gear. This enhancement aims to provide players with a more efficient way to manage their equipment, keeping their arena items separate from other gear. So he wants an arena stash. We're currently working on bringing this functionality to Squire. Cool. Is there any chance bosses being worked on for trios? Because most of the bosses, when 2 people in arena, flip out. Yeah, they do. Looking at you, Troll. Looking at you, Wyvern. Looking at you, Spectral Knight. Looking at you, Banshee, actually, to a lesser extent. I'm experiencing similar issues with party play, so I'd like to make some tweaks, but alas, it's not the main focus yet. I'll talk to the monster guy about it. Iron Mace, please hire more than 1 person for your monsters. Please, please, we need more than 1 monster guy. I mean, come on, man. What happened? What's going on with Spectral Knight's jump? Banshee's shit appearing in the walls, or stupid last phase lasting forever. Banshee being the longest boss in the game for literally no reason. Wyvern being like such a meme to fight with more than 1 person. Like, it's, come on, man. All right, moving on. Community all believes you have a great game. Have you put any thought into adding more content instead of trying to tweak the numbers every few weeks? It seems like a passive aggressive question. Obviously he has. Any thought into making this to be more of a PvE game than PvP spawn rushing, creating randomized modules, creating more monsters, more loot, more artifacts, exploration rewarded. Yes, please add more artifacts, add more cool shit to the game. I will say that. I want more stuff to chase. I'm so bored playing this game now. All I do is run at people in PvP. And like, PvP is cool and it's fun, but like eventually you're just like, oh my god, and I'm gonna run another person. Like, we've already done all the PvE outside of farming my wealth, which like, I don't need to farm my wealth. I don't know how you guys eat up what he says. The Quiver guy has been busy for 1.5 years now. Who's eating up what he says? If they add insurance like with Tarkov, where you protect an item before entering the dungeon, would be nice in exchange for a hefty price. McKay, when's the last time you played Dark and Darker? Because like Goblin Merchant has been returning our items for like a long time now. In fact, you don't even have to pay him. You just buy it when it comes back. He brings back all of your stuff that doesn't get looted. Yeah, if you die in your dungeon, and some of your stuff doesn't get looted, he takes back all of it. He just brings it back to you. And you pay like barely anything to get it back. We've got quite a few requests like this, yeah. So we want to talk about a little bit more about it. I'm talking about in terms of a player not being able to loot it. Oh, no, I don't think so. I think you should be able to loot people's like stuff. Limited to one item. People just bring in a named item every time and then just like make it so it can't be looted or something. Yeah, people that can run named items absolutely will be paying the hefty fee to get that back. You know what I mean? And then people that kill the named item person don't get any reward. You know what I'm saying? I understand that it's easy for a lot of people to think like this because when you look at the content of the hotfix, it's mostly balance changes. We're a 100-person company. We have only about 60 actual game developers. So Iron Mace has 60 game developers. Because we have to juggle legal, PR, marketing, customer service, community management, anti-cheat support, and a lot of other things at the same time. 97% of our developers are actually focused on content development. 97%? That's crazy, dude. That's a lot, man. You'd think it'd be like 80. Unfortunately, new content takes time to develop. We're still a growing company. We spend our time training new members and building a solid pipeline for the team. I believe we'll get to a good point soon. I'm expecting our productivity to increase significantly then. And I don't believe the game will be a PvE only game, but I do believe there must be a good balance between PvE and PvP. We haven't invested much in PvE yet, so we'll try to make it better in the future. Yeah, they really got to start investing in PvE, man. And this is coming from somebody that everybody's like, wow, he's a PvPer. Like, I just want to do some more stuff. Like, I want more options to do in the dungeon, man. I'm just trying to like 1.8 devs on balance. Yeah, right. They have 98%, right? So 60. Yeah. All right. Well, they're gonna invest in PvE in the future. We don't know when. All right. What do you think about the low online in the game at the moment? He's talking about the player count. We don't have to read the whole thing. He's just asking about the low online player count. I'm not sure if this will help. Excuse me, but as always, I'll just give you the straight answer. When we first started looking for investors to fund this game, we were targeting a 3,000 plus concurrent users. We have received more love from our players than we could have ever hoped for, and this has been an unbelievable time for us. We realize that the number of players is currently decreasing, and our goal is to get more players to love and play our game so that we can fulfill the promise to our players of great game that will be around for a long time. So basically they're saying like, we have a low player count, but it's still way higher than they ever expected. But they're still trying to get more players in. Okay. New maps, classes, gear, monsters when? Soon, TM. I don't play for PvP, I play for PvE only. I love empty lobbies. PvE mode, please. Lol. Okay, we're gonna go do the short version of this question. Is there ever gonna be a nerf to cleric healing power / current adjustment to bow damage? As for classes, we'll be making some major adjustments once we've rebalanced items. Before that happens, however, we're looking to tweak the current balance a bit more to ensure that different classes are able to compete in general. Let's read his response first. As for classes, we make major adjustments when we rebalance items. Before that happens, however, we're looking to tweak the current balance a bit more, ensuring that different classes are able to compete in general. It's really not. That's a nothing burger of a response. So I had a thought, and it came to me just exactly at this moment, like right now. It came to me right now. So if it's shit, like it's fine. But like, what if your permanent health or your temporary, you know how you get hurt, you have like the temporary health, and you have the permanent damage, you know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm talking about? The permanent and temporary health, like the health thing. What if your temporary health went down much slower? So like instead of like now, like you can take like a third of your temporary health can just disappear in one hit. What if you only lose like 5% per hit or something like that? And then for dots, maybe it's like 1%, you know what I'm saying? Like it's way less. But what if Cleric and Druid heals only heal temporary HP, and the only way to get back permanent health is if you sit at a campfire? Also, thank you for the 3 months Prime, Garno. Yes. This would stop a lot of the PvP rushing, and people would be much more scared to take fights and just rush you it. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Face tank all your damage and run at you. You know what I'm saying? Because you wouldn't like lose all your temporary HP like immediately, right? Like, it would take a minute. Warlock should be able to heal all the HP, only temp HP. Are you saying shouldn't? So when a Warlock casts a spell, he doesn't lose any temp HP, right? He when a Warlock casts a spell, if his spell costs 8, his HP will go down by 8, but he will be able to bandage or use the temporary HP all the way back up. Like, it won't even take away his temporary HP. I want to take fights and get someone else's campfire to recover it. Yeah, sure. I mean, there's ways to recover it. Like, that's the point. But you can't just infinitely fight. You can't just run across all the modules and kill everybody. You're gonna have to take a sit down. It can work, but it will make third party even stronger. Only if the third party who rushed you didn't take any damage on the way over. Talking about permanent damage until you sit at a campfire, yeah. Warlock heal from mobs should be nerfed by 50%. True. Indirect rogue buff? I would be a rogue buff. Just joined Discord, feel cooler already? Lol. Let's move on though. We talk about that forever. Is there any plans to improve the new player experience? We've created a dungeon called Sewer, and it will likely be the first dedicated dungeon for new players. We haven't yet decided when and in what form we'll launch this, but we'll continue to focus on onboarding new players. That's cool. That'll be fun. I think a new dungeon for new players will be cool. That being said, I want to play it at least once. I want to experience the dungeon too. Just because I'm not a new player doesn't mean I don't want to play Sewer. You know what I'm saying? Make all the toxic PvP players take a timeout in the corner. Exactly. Yeah, you can just I mean, you get hit by mobs, you still lose permanent health. You know what I'm saying? That'd be closer to D&D with a short rest and long rest. I agree. And also, do you know what it would do? It would make Bard's Tranquility way better, because Bard Tranquility would do the same thing as Cleric and Druid heals now, but you just have to sit down for it. So Bard could actually be like a stopgap in between Druid and Cleric, better with Tranquility. Not better, but you know what I'm saying? Tranquility wouldn't be such trash. And then obviously the campfire would just be the way to get all your permanent health back. Bard buffs? Yeah. Bard buffs that aren't making them even stronger in W key engagements. Anything planned for making some not so frequently used rooms and maps more attractive with special secrets or loot? We're interested in making each dungeon module more engaging. Once the aforementioned randomized dungeons are more established, we'll probably focus on systems like those. This is going to be way in the future. Oh, here you go. Makes everyone have to reset at some point. Exactly. When are Quivers coming out? The question that everyone asks. This is basically a meme, and I want it too, but the person who should be working on it is currently focused on more important things, so it's being on hold for a while. Whenever that developer has time, it will be a Iron Mace, this is the issue right here. The person who is working on it, when that developer has time, it will be a priority. This is the problem. We need more than one person doing Quivers. I know who that developer is. It's you, SDF. I think he admitted that he was the one who's gonna make Quivers, but he's too busy with like the court case and stuff. But we need other developers doing that. Otherwise we're never gonna get Quivers until the court cases are over, and that could take forever, even though it should be over by now. You thought he was getting attacked? I am getting attacked by bullshit. I feel like they'd have to increase max HP again so you can still survive third parties without a campfire. I feel like HP would add to the counterplay. Well, so if you fight one team, you're not gonna lose like 100 permanent health. You just like maybe you take 5 hits and now your permanent health is reduced by like 15 or 20. Maybe you have like 10 to 15% less permanent health. You know what I'm saying? It just slows it down. That way you can't run past mobs, just take a bunch of damage and then like go fuck another team up. But it'll be a third party issue maybe. Who knows? Or they should give everybody morale boosts. So when you get a killing blow, you heal for 12% of your max HP. On players. Take morale boost off Barb and give it to every player. Are we gonna get an F cancel and drinking potions like we have bandages? I sometimes want to drink a potion and cancel it, but our characters can't drink half of it and cancel it, so I decided to leave it as is. Good decision. We should not be able to cancel potion drinking. I've thought of it before, but if you drink a potion in a bad time, that's on you, man. That's just a player error. Like if you should know better, right? If you get clowned on, like if you get attacked, like if he's too close to you trying to potion, I mean, that just take the L, right? You don't need to cancel the potion, just don't drink it. Are there any plans to add Haktua, funniest meme of the year to the game? I just looked up this meme because you told me. Haha, very funny. I will think about it. Can we not get a spit emote, please? Can we not get a spit emote? Because the meme is a dick sucking meme. It's about sucking dick, right? But the only implementation in the game is going to be a spit meme, like a spit emote, and you know for a fact every player is just going to spit on other players. They're just going to spit on dead bodies. You know what I'm saying? SDF on his way to choose the worst questions to answer. Yeah. Oh, God. This is a long one, guys. World of Warcraft already had an issue with that kind of thing. Yeah, now imagine if you could animate it while screaming racial slurs at them in VoIP. Fuck on that dead bard, yeah. All right, let's read the long question. Oh, okay. Since everyone is asking a lot of questions, I'll post my own 10 million questions. Okay. Where is Quiver? Moving on. Are there any plans on improving visuals of HR monsters instead of just making them blue and attack and move 300% faster? Sounds good. Why not squish the gear gap even more? Bro, SDF already answered all these. Remove unique and named items and make them into legendaries. Legendaries would be named to have two versions, normal and HR. With normal ones being very rare and have worse stat. Why? Less gear clutter, more unique items? I mean, there's no downside to doing this, but there's no upside to doing it either. Who gives a shit? I'll be honest, like I can't see a reason to do this. Just have two different versions of legendaries, normals and HR legendaries, and HR legendaries gonna be taking HR just to confuse players even more as they're trying to figure out why their gear score won't let them into HR. Anyways, why is Bard still the most OB class even in solo after countless nerfs? Because of shirk weakness. Bard kills PvE the quickest solo. He's fast with a lot of armor. He hits like a truck, attacks quickly, has all the melee and ranged options. Isn't it supposed to be a team-based support class that plays music? Bro's asking for another Bard nerf. Good luck, Bards. 5. Remove weapon mastery from fighter and give it more weapon options by default, removing daggers and magical weapons. No. Remove weapon mastery from fighter, give it more melee weapon options, and give it spell book. Okay? Remove daggers. Don't let fighters use daggers, apparently, even though fighters can use Castellan dagger, which is a dagger, but no fighter uses it. You know why? Because you can't use it with a shield. And I keep saying, and I've said for months, the issue is using daggers with the damn shield. Anyways. No one listens to me. Yeah, remove weapon mastery. I don't care. Give it more melee weapons options by default. Sounds good. Let fighter use spellbook, so I can finally play Eldritch Knight Fighter whenever they decide to stop being cowards and put it out. Remove weapon mastery from fighter. Give them clothes mastery and let fighters use mage clothes. Oh, that's OP. All right, okay. He said there are a few questions, so I'll answer one. Good. I think it's a good opportunity to share my thoughts on the gear gap. I think you already did. As I mentioned earlier, I initially had a direction towards pursuing large gear gaps. Yeah, you said this. I think it gives players great satisfaction as one of the endgame goals, and it actually exists in our game. Nothing has changed in that regard. We found some problems while actually executing this vision. The excessive time consumption of random modifiers mentioned earlier, combined with the large gear gaps, made the game environment for mid-low players unfavorable and made them lose hope in competing. I don't know, man. This isn't like... The way he writes it isn't totally true. It says, made the in-game environment for mid-low level players unfavorable and made them lose hope in competing. The reality is these players aren't getting good gear because they're not as good in the game. They lose their fights because of mechanical reasons mostly. These same players would try to gear diff people with high gear and they lose it and then they're back to mid-low level. Whatever, I'm not blaming them, but that is the reality of the situation. Like, you know, play plus daggers not exist? Yeah. Many people want to compete in a fair environment, but didn't have much time to invest, so we created the gear-based matchmaking to give them hope and split them up. This will not give them hope. Similar to how we created solo duo queues to allow players with difficulty finding players, a trio would compete fairly. This combined with the many dungeon themes, anti-teaming, anti-sniping tools. Bro, I hate these. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, but man, it's weird finding lobbies. Maybe I don't hate them. I don't know. There were a lot of matchmaking pools that ended up with splitting the player base too much. Yeah, it's really split. John, thanks. Literally the most annoying thing to load in the trio, get killed by a troller. Yeah, I imagine so. I believe that the most enjoyable point of this game comes from the unexpected situations come from various situations within the dungeon. And for that, there must be many players with various goals inside the dungeon. And I think this is one of the most important factors in the matching quality. Okay. Due to the issues mentioned above, we have experienced for a long time that matching quality is severely reduced in certain regions or during downtime when there are relatively few players. We want to improve it. And as a start, can you read that still? Am I high enough? I was moving. We're trying to reduce the gear gap to reduce the number of GBMM pools. However, I understand that there are various ways to stick to the original vision other than reducing the gear gap, which is the direction that current high-level players dislike. Initially, we wanted to make it easier and faster for players to escape so they can achieve more success in the game. Bro, I just went like numb to all this text. Hold on. Where are we at right now? Like, what do we... Okay. Achieve more success in the game, even with the gear gap, and have hope to catch up to high-level players. However, it's not exactly actually tested on the live server because the dungeon with fewer players becoming a dungeon is not fun for anyone. Continuous dungeon will help players escape easily, and other players will fill the spots of players who escape. Oh my god. So they are doing it. Oh my god. So you are going to be able to join matches in progress. So you could be like 10 minutes into crypts, like ruins, and someone's gonna like, it's gonna be like a scav run, except it's gonna be a player, and he's gonna come in fresh behind you from a spawn somewhere in the dungeon. Holy crap, man. So people are gonna leave and new people are gonna join. Yeah, sniper meta inbound. People are gonna snipe the shit out of streamers. Just constantly re-queuing into the dungeon that they're in. Keeping player density inside the dungeon at a fluctuating level, and maybe if the system works as we expect, we can keep the gear gap a little wider. Holy. I am surprised. Anyways, moving on. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Queue in 1 minute before dungeon deal? Yeah. How'd that work? Loot can only be looted once. Well, you're gonna if you join in late, you're basically gonna either have to go hunt the remaining players or just go straight down to crypts. It's gonna be open doors. The blues and reds aren't gonna have grates on them. You're just gonna go in when you feel like it. Will the sorcerer and wizard share certain spells, and can we look forward to new spells for the wizard in the new season? Sorcerer will have his own spells based on the development so far. The sorcerer is probably going to be the class with the most spells, and I didn't forget about the wizard. I read this yesterday, and this made me facepalm. So I am like, in Dungeons and Dragons, I'm a huge wizard enjoyer. I love wizards. I think they're super cool. I don't like sorcerers. I think they're lame, cringe, gross. Bro is just born with dragon blood and suddenly he can cast his spells. Like, okay, Harry Potter, like, get out of here. Gross. Not really. That's not really how Harry Potter worked, but you know what I mean. It's like sorcerers are the Mary Sues of the spellcasting world, and wizards are just cool dudes like skateboarding on people's foreheads. Yeah, I don't know. Sorcerer having more spells than wizard is cringe. And also they're not going to share spells, and wizard isn't getting his spell split and going into a more utility role, sadly. Races against sorcerer, that's classist. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if he's saying sorcerer is going to have more spells, the most spells even, I feel sorcerer is going to be the new druid. He's just going to be the new overpowered shit that just runs the dungeon for a couple months. I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling it. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my bones. Did he say classist? Yeah. Wouldn't wizard have the most spells? Yeah, why wouldn't wizard have the most spells in the game? Wizards should have the most spells in the game. This is literally how wizards work. Gall darn it. Wizard should be the only class that can use 10 spell. I don't know. Wizard can be utility based and not be trios, duos locked. Crowd control still works when you have like he's not gonna have no offensive spells. Do sorcerers have transformation powers in their lore? Yes. I think so. Not have any sense to have wizard more spells than sorcerer, yeah. Spell overload should go to Sorcerer. Wizard should be the only class that can use 10 spell. Game saved. You're welcome, everybody. Never saw a Torpedo Druid until recently. It's just terrifying. Yeah. All right, moving on from the Sorcerer Wizard debacle. All right. In addition, there are a few things I would like to talk about. Regarding the test server, I apologize for not actively utilizing the test server and providing tough patches to players so far. We realized that it was a bit difficult to get enough players in the test server, and it was especially difficult to test features that require a lot of players there. It is possible while also satisfying hold the line. If it is possible while also satisfying hold the line edition players, we would like to host the test server on a major platform like Epic Steam so that all players with legendary status can access it. But think deeply about how to do that. Bro, I have hold the line edition. I don't care. Let other people use a test server. I don't care. I'm not like trying to test server gate anyone. You could literally make the test server open to everyone, including free to play tomorrow, and I straight up wouldn't give a shit. Just do it. Like, I don't care. Who's gonna cry about it? The one guy who demands his schmeckles back after, like, I don't care. It's a freaking test server. Every time I watch you, my exams in college canceled. Nice. Congrats. Test servers, the more people, the better. Exactly. Let free to play players in there. Who cares? Let all the hamsters get on the wheel. What if they made wizards to be able to use other class spells? No thanks. No way. Wizards should get tensors? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said tensors and I stopped reading. You said tensors, floating disc, and mage hand. I thought you were talking about tensors transformation. And I'm like, bro, if wizard got tensors transformation, I would go wizard main instantly. That would be awesome. What's best in slot? Actually, test servers should have everything unlocked for non-players so they can experience everything, be more prone to buying the game. We'd like a test. I don't know. Maybe. Give me a damn door basher. Lol. We need an actual test server? Yeah. Anyways, let's finish what he was writing. Finally, this game is still new to us and not easy to develop. We don't have a blueprint. We're making it ourselves. Yes. Sometimes I forget that I am a chimpanzee, but you kindly remind me. My team and I will continue to cook hard for the happiness and satisfaction of our players. We make mistakes sometimes, but I believe that even that is a process that helps us grow. Thank you for your support. And as always, we love you. Wow. Boop. And then he put a picture. I really like this. I'm gonna move out of the way. There he is. Oh, there. We don't have to move anymore. SDF. AI picture of a monkey cooking. I mean, it's a cute picture. I don't know. I think SDF gets like loads of hate. But people take things like way too personally. It's a bit cringe. It is what it is, right? There's a reason I don't really go to general chat in the Dark and Darker Discord. It's not worth it, man. It's like the people in general chat that are still in general chat are usually the ones that are just screaming the loudest. And the people that have the time to spend all day in general chat screaming are usually not the people I want to talk to. Some of them are. Have a sense of humor? Yeah. Well, you have to, right? He's been getting hate for like years now. I just realized my headset cable is tangled and it's really annoying me. GG. Happy and happier birthday. Thank you. Went for questions, got looked over by screamers. Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Sometimes I get added there by like toxic people and it's like, whatever, bro. Get over yourself. Only criticism I have for SDF, you lost direction of the game, flip-flop patches. Yeah, I guess so.